Welcome into our Big Ten Network studios. I'm Kara Lentz, here to give you all the news and highlights from around the mat in the Big Ten. Minnesota trailed by 8 points to Illinois before entering the final 4 bouts of the night. Fifth-ranked Kevin Steinhouse almost recorded a major decision at 184, while his teammate Scott Schiller delivered in a time of need. Schiller defeated defending Big Ten champ Mario Gonzalez at 197. That put the Gophers ahead by just 1 point, entering the heavyweight bout. And defending NCAA champion Tony Nelson secured Minnesota's 18-14 victory over the Illini, and they remain atop the Big Ten standings with a 5-0 record. That is impressive enough to keep the Gophers at the 4th ranking in this week's Intermat rankings released on Tuesday. Undefeated Penn State still the king of the mountain, and Iowa's sweep over Michigan State and Michigan keeps them at 3rd. There is plenty of wrestling this weekend on BTN and BTN.com, 6 meets to be exact. Start your weekend off right by watching Northwestern take the mat against Michigan State on Friday, and Saturday afternoon features one of college wrestling's greatest rivalries, Iowa against Minnesota. For more on that matchup and others, our BTN Wrestling crew of Tim Johnson and Jim Gibbons give us a sneak preview.
Tim Johnson alongside national champion wrestler and coach Jim Gibbons, and we're talking BTN Wrestling this weekend. Some great matchups. We have Northwestern going to Michigan State and then Iowa into Minnesota. Let's start talking about Northwestern at Michigan State, Jim.
Well, you talk about Northwestern making the trip. You talk about Jason Welch. He's been exciting to watch all the way through. We've got a chance to watch him develop in his career, coming back for his senior campaign. And he's just a great scrambler. Just love watching him wrestle. And also Lee Munster. And Lee Munster has always been having, is going into his second year having a good campaign as well. And then you look at Michigan State. Michigan State has some ranked wrestlers right now. It starts with their heavyweight, Mike McClure, ranked number 4 in the country.
Well, let's talk about the coaches, Drew Periano for Northwestern and Tom Minkle at Michigan State.
Well, Drew Periano, we get to see him when we host the Midlands Championships here, but he's doing a nice job of recruiting at that school. Not an easy school to recruit wrestlers to, but he's doing a great job with the talent that he has there. And Tom Minkle, I've been in the conference a long time. He's had competitive individuals here, so this should be a good dual meet.
Well, speaking of coaches, let's talk about Iowa and Minnesota. Tom Brands and Jay Robinson.
Well, you take a look at the, 2 of the programs out of the conference. Like look what Penn State's doing, but the challengers now have been Minnesota and Iowa. Jay Robinson, 3-time national champion coach, basically had a great run in the last decade here, trying to go ahead and string together a great run. He's got a great team to be able to do that. Of course, Tom Brands, 3 national champions himself at the University of Iowa. But the matchups here are great as well. You take a look at the Dardanes brother from Minnesota going against Ramos and Balwig from Iowa here at 33 and 41. Then you bump up to 74 pounds. You got Logan Storley going up against Mike Evans from University of Iowa. And, of course, a rematch of last year's heavyweight finals and returning national champion Tony Nelson going against Telford for the University of Iowa. Should be a great border brawl.
Great weekend of BTN Wrestling. Northwestern and Michigan State on Friday, and then Iowa. Hawkeyes going into the Minnesota Gopher land. Great wrestling, BTN live this weekend.
Defending Big Ten champion Kevin Steinhouse joins us now from Minnesota. Kevin, 2 words for you. Iowa, Minnesota, and that's this Saturday. Give us a sense of what the excitement is like in the room right now, on the team, on campus.
It's definitely added to what a regular duel would be, Got a lot of friends in classes asking us about the duel, telling us that they're coming, and then especially in the room, we're excited to go. It's added motivation when we're in the room to train harder, and knowing that we got Iowa coming to town, we know it's going to be a battle. So we're excited to go out there and wrestle a good team, and we're gonna put our best show on and get a win here, hopefully for the home fans.
What do you think makes this rivalry so unique?
It's really old. Iowa and Minnesota have been going at it for years and years, and we both wrestle the same style, going after, trying to score points the whole time, and so anytime we're out there, it's an aggressive match, and it's basically a war while we're out there, which I think the fans love to see, and it's a lot of fun for us to go out and wrestle that way.
What is your scouting report on Ethan Lofthouse?
I haven't watched him too much. I wrestled him once last summer in a freestyle match, so a little bit different there than a folk style match is, but just kind of going off that. And the main thing for me is I just have to go out and wrestle my style, try to put points on the board, get my attacks going rather than worrying about what someone else is going to do. So that's the main thing for me.
You were perfect in conference last year, and it's not an easy conference to do that in. Tell us what makes your ability to perform so well in the Big Ten.
I think one of the big things is having composure, just going out there every match, with the mindset of expecting to win and just wrestling confident, trying to score points and, not worrying about winning or losing too much, but just going out there to compete. I think that's helped me a lot. And, I just wrestle for God's glory, not my own. So when I have that motivation, it takes all the pressure off me and really frees me to go wrestle to the best of my ability.
The 4th-ranked Minnesota Golden Gophers hosting 3rd-ranked Iowa this Saturday at 4 p.m. on BTN. Kevin, thank you so much for the time and best of luck.
Thank you.
That's going to do it for this week's Big Ten Wrestling Report. Make sure to keep coming back to BTN.com for all of the highlights and interviews from the weekend's action.